That's the spirit. All right. Well, last session, the group of you had collected your jobs from the Iron Fang Monastery and set out across one of the more savanna-y style plain biomes of Aquan, crossing towards the Lasette logging camp, where you left your horses after a brief chat with Bugrim, who was working there for this season, and agreeing to leave the horses and tend to them as long as he could put them to work, and they didn't get injured. It was contentious, but he agreed to watch them for you, make sure they were fed and whatnot. The group of you set up into the mountains on the hunt for a dire snowy owlbear. You spent a very cold and uncomfortable evening trekking through deep snow. You managed to safely navigate a crevasse, avoided going snowblind, and thanks to Siegfried's good rolls, did not lose your trail on this hunt. Looking for any type of cave or cavern that this type of creature might use as its hibernation den, now that the weather was turning for a more spring environment, even up here in the mountains. Spring might just mean more sun, but you were hopeful that you might be able to find something, and find something you did. You found a very narrow ledge, few score feet off the ground. You climbed it with the aid of some pitons, and then shimmied along a crack to two different open spaces. The first of which seemed to almost be plugged up with this wall of semi-opaque ice with almost an inner like blue glow to it. Score of feet to your right, there was an open section, this tunnel through the ice of this rock face, seemingly grown upon the side of the mountain over untold years. Pushing in, and this ice sort of dissipated and refracted light deeper into the cave than normally would have reached. Pushing into it, you found a wide open area of incredibly slick ice upon the ground. It's very difficult to sort of move over. And off to your left as you entered, an area of worked stone, curiously enough. It's not something you expected this high in the mountains. As you set about exploring this space, the wind sort of picked up and swirled snow around, not totally obscuring your vision, making it a little bit harder to see where you're going. And in the midst of this, Hellerast was assailed by the owner and inhabitant of this cave, a massive gargantuan beast, the owlbear in question. And this has led to an ongoing battle. There we go. Moving you guys over to the map. We are currently in initiative. Willem has conjured his new pet to hunt down this creature, as it seemingly has the ability to vanish into this snowstorm. And Hellerast has conjured a few bears of her own to aid in the fight. Each person whose pip matches a bear, that bear goes after that person's turn, respectively. So that brings us to top of initiative with Willem.
Heyo. So my hound is hounding it. So if I remember correctly, I can kind of intuit where it is through that, correct?
Yeah, so your hound knows where it is. So if you wanted to do something particularly for yourself, you could hold an action, which would be concentrating on the spell if it's a spell. And then as soon as your hound identifies the location, select that. Now, believe what I said was the hound knows where it is, but still can't see it. It's still considered invisible to the hound. So the hound will not have a percentage chance of just outright missing, but will just have disadvantage on an attack roll. But it will
Okay.
identify it's basically the squares that you can target to make disadvantage attacks effectively.
Fair.
I'll give an example. Let's say it's in these squares, where all of you would then know target those squares, but uh, there would be no guarantee that you can't aim the shot. You just have to get a general shot. If that makes sense.
It does. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and use Shadow Blade as a bonus action.
Okay, nice.
And if I do remember, the place I saw it was here where everybody's surrounding.
Correct.
So if I am able to see, I want to kind of keep an eye out on my hound and see if it is still looking in that direction.
Okay.
And if so, do we have less movement on this terrain, if I remember correctly?
Difficult terrain, so half movement. If you wanted to move at full speed, you can attempt to, but there's a chance that you fall, and because you're slipping on the slick ice underfoot.
All right, I'm going to try to slip and slide over here.
Sure, make me an acrobatics check.
Aye.
Starting out good. You lose your footing at one point, but then you get a purchase on some little scratch, maybe from the claws and talons of this owlbear, enough that your toe can sort of find purchase in this scratch in the ice, and then you just use that to propel yourself and slide the last 10 feet into position.
Nice.
Do not fall. Okay.
So I think that once I do that, I'll hold an action to stab it when I am able to figure out where it is.
Sounds good. So you're holding an action. If it's within melee range of you, you're stabbing it.
Correct.
That sounds good. That brings us to the hound.
Yeah, I forgot to grab it. One moment.
Now, if I recall, the hound moves to what's its movement speed?
50 feet.
Okay. The hound can easily move. It sort of looks at where you're going and then turns and beelines straight towards Hellerast. And it goes exactly where you just were.
Hilarious.
All right, go ahead and make some disadvantage attacks for the hound. Does it have multi-attack or no?
Let me look.
I think it does too.
I think so. Sorry, I just dropped down the sheet. Give me a moment to pull it back up.
Oh, good. And then Hellerast, the bear's coming up after that. The blue bear.
So it does have advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or smell. Does that impact how it would attack? And
I'd say no, because that's specifically checks.
okay.
But the hound automatically knows where the creature is as part of its feature.
And there.
So it doesn't have to make a check.
Also fair. I don't see anything about multi-attack, so I'm just going to bite once.
Oh, bite. Okay. I thought I had a bite and a claw. My bad. Alright, bite. 18 and 17. The 17 hits, even with the disadvantage. That is a strength saving throw. That is a 20 on the save. Is unable to be dragged down by the wolf, but does take some damage. 8 points. All right. That brings us to the bear, blue bear. Hellerast.
So I get to control blue bear, right?
Yeah. Well, the blue bear goes after whatever you went after. So, um,
Okay.
So I'm
it's a
assuming it would chill there
yeah,
still.
it chills at the moment because you didn't target a spell at anything or make an attack roll at anything.
Yep.
So, Bear's
Okay.
sort of holding a claw back, looking around, following your instruction. Siegfried.
Yeah, I can't really see much going on in here. I am going to cast Dark Vision on myself.
Noted. Okay, that's 60 feet.
Yep, 60 feet.
All right,
And it's not concentration either.
even
It just
better.
lasts for 8 hours. So,
Dark vision
is there
should be up.
any icon I should use for Dark Vision?
Pardon?
Is there a specific icon I should use?
Ah, no, you're
for
good.
Dark- Okay. Alright, so... Still don't see the bear, but I at least see Helly. I am just going to half movement behind Dunnan.
Sounds good.
And
Uh,
yeah, I can't cast any more spells. I did we do the wheel and woe already for the day?
I did not.
Okay,
Go ahead and roll
I
that
will
now
do
if you
that
want.
right
Yeah,
Yeah, before I forget.
as we come around to Dunny.
So that's evens. So that is wheel, I think.
Wheel, yeah. It's a
Cool.
bonus to attack rolls, saving throws, ability checks.
Okay, cool. All right, that is my turn.
All right, Dunnan, around to you.
I'll look over at Willem and say, "This is your hound? Does it know where they are?"
Willem. You might
Talking
be.
time.
You might.
Muted. I said, yeah, it seems to be able to follow it by scent and hearing.
Well,
It
I'll trust
also
your hound
Majesty
then.
has a bead on it, I think. We just met.
We'll then scuffle over there.
Yep. Are you moving at half speed and dashing?
Nope.
Okay.
No, not just regular speed, just
Regular speed. All right. Give me
Yeah.
an acrobatics check, please.
God.
Big roll.
Bowling ball.
Yeah.
Not a big roll. So your first movement was here.
Right in front of everybody.
So you take about half of the steps and then just sort of tumble and slide. You fall prone, and the ice just keeps carrying you up next to the hound, farther than you had intended to go originally, and then you bump into something in the snow. You are currently prone, and your movement is spent.
I can't attack now on the floor.
Oh, you can totally attack. It's a disadvantage from the ground. Disadvantage.
Okay.
But you can attack. You're just prone.
Stupid ice, and then I will use bonus action Branding Smite on the weapon
Nice.
and attack to the left and hope the weapon makes some purchase.
Attack which way? To the
Left.
left of the map or the right of the map?
Yeah, left of the map. Yeah.
Draw an arrow to where you're trying to attack, just so I know.
Yes, there. First attack.
All right. Go ahead.
Yes.
First attack swings through empty space. You realize
Okay,
you bumped
then I'll-
against something to the right that stopped you from
Okay.
sliding.
Then I'll turn around, slide on my belly to the other side.
The momentum of the
Right.
swing brings you around. 14. You feel it sort of glance off of something.
Can
You found
I
purchase.
use my wheel on Dunnan?
Sure.
So that is I get to roll a d6.
Yeah. Is it within 60 feet of you, Siegfried?
Let me measure.
No. I mean, is that the requirement?
Oh, let me see.
Dunnon's 40 feet away from you.
So that's what it says.
30 feet of you.
Okay, so I can't do it. Never
Yeah,
mind.
he's just outside of range. Yeah.
Yep.
And I curse. I think it's over here. I bumped into it.
Yep.
That's it.
All right, round to Hellerast.
Okay, she's gonna try fairy fire here in the area where we think he is.
Ooh, nice. The bear moves to there. And there. Using his turn. Fairy fire. That's a dex save?
Yes.
Oof. What does the fairy fire look like as you cast it out?
It's going to be violet light, and it's just gonna settle down softly onto everything in its area. I'm guessing including the bear.
Okay. As you sort of toss this magical pixie dust basically out into this area that just sort of slowly wafts through the air, it all sort of gravitates not towards the ground but towards this central form highlighted as a sort of in a very reminiscent of Siegfried's starry form. These specks of starlight just stick to this thing's exterior. The feathers and sort of massive hulking form shows up behind you. Yeah. It
Nice.
did not pass the dex save.
Sorry,
Nice.
did Dunn forget to use his spiritual weapon too?
I used a bonus action for the branding smite.
Yeah,
Never mind.
yeah. You need to activate this might, which you do still have. You're concentrating on it. Lasts until you hit. So
Yeah, correct.
all right. Anything else, Hellerast? That's your action. You're now concentrating on that.
Corin can move. Does Corin still have speed because she's spiritual?
Yeah.
She's a spirit?
Yeah.
Okay. Can she make it to the bear?
I believe a bonus action you can move Corin 30 feet.
Yes.
So you could put
So I
her
would
like
say-
around to here if you wanted.
Yeah, that's fine. And then she's going to attack.
Yeah, right here she'll get the flanking bonus, so she'll have advantage. She's gonna hit. If you want to see if she gets a crit, go for it.
Okay.
Because you're there and you have a weapon that
Okay.
you use as your
What do I
casting
do?
effect.
Roll a.
Just roll attack
1d
again.
Oh, we just roll attack again.
Look at that. Crit.
Yes.
And it's the same damage. 20 points of damage. Nice.
She's awesome.
And Scorin just sort of tears into this thing now that it can finally be seen.
And then I still have control of my bear, correct?
Yes, Pink Bear. Pink Bear follows whatever
Pink-
you target. So Pink Bear can move.
Okay. Can Pink Bear move all the way to the bear?
Pull up the bear stat block.
Let's see.
Shift double click on the
40
bear.
feet.
40 feet. So that's 20 moving carefully, or
40 running because he's on 4 paws, even if he
here,
falls.
roll me a dex check for your bear.
Okay.
Cannonball.
Yeah, really.
The world's worst form of bowling. So this would have been the initial angle towards Aeolus.
Oh, God,
So
no.
the bear ends up sliding into the stalagmites over there. Prone, movement spent.
Okay. Well, at least he's in position.
Legs all splayed out as it did a very slow circle as it moved.
Okay, that's my turn.
It tried. Alright.
Mhm.
Brings us around to Aeolus.
Alrighty. As a bonus action, I'm going to drink or hive the potency mutagen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to attempt to move my full movement to flank the owlbear.
Sure, give me a dex check. Or acrobatics check, pardon me. Oh my
Die.
gosh. You end up
That's
there.
This is great.
Since that is the end of the icy area. So you slide right out of the icy area, and that's where you end up prone.
All right, and I will. I'll use my action to stand up.
Okay, so take the dash action, stand up. You have a little bit of movement remaining if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll just slowly move my way over, just like using my great spear as a walking stick. Because I'm pretty sure I pulled something.
The world's worst rug burn on your palms as you tried to hold yourself over the ice. All right. Anything else, Aeolus?
That's it.
Green Bear died, so that then brings us to layer actions. So you notice that the snow and wind had sort of died down a little bit during this time. The wind and snow is going to start picking up again and swirling throughout the space. As you can see, the owlbear sort of taking stock of who's near and around it. And then it is the owlbear's turn. I need to roll for this. 1d6. Ooh, beautiful. It's going to step Corwin and Dunnan. You both get opportunity attacks. Notably, if Corwin takes the opportunity attack, it uses your reaction. Hellrast also.
Is mine still
Okay,
with
got it.
disadvantage, I guess, right?
Straight roll, because it's now fairy fired. So advantage, disadvantage for being prone, so it cancels out. Straight roll.
Sorry, did I miss something? Did the wind do something, or did it just like start acting up?
So at the start of this whole encounter, there was wind and snow sort of whipping through the space, and the group of you realized that this thing sort of vanishes into that. It died down when it took that nasty hit from Corwin. It's now picked up again.
Okay, cool.
Corwin has advantage because of fairy fire.
Oh, okay.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
Basher misses. Corwin does hit for the 6 points of damage. All right. I need to roll this. That's good. Okay. Did I move that to the GM layer? No, it's on the map layer. I don't know why I put it on the map layer. It is going to use its Frost Breath. No, can't quite get Willem. No, well. As it sort of moves into position, realizing how everyone is set up, and exhales this icy blast of energy. I'm going to need Hellrast, Dunnan, the Hound, and the Red Bear to all make con saves.
They all get a +4 because of my aura.
God damn, Aura. The Hound passes. Dunnan absolutely passes. The Bear does not pass. That bear is screwed. And Hellrast passes. Okay. The bear takes 16 points of cold damage. I think that bear is kaput. Yep.
They're gone.
The rest of you take 8 points of cold damage. And then I need concentration checks for Hellerast and Dunnan. Dunnan, you don't have to roll. Actually, no, you do. You can still technically fail with a natural one.
Oh my god, that was great.
You had to jinx it. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Burning Smite. And Hellerast. Fairy fire is maintained, probably more important. For until the owlbear's next turn, that cone is heavily obscured. You cannot see through it. You're basically blind within it. Although that doesn't really affect the hound. Right, that's part of its tax. In place of the beak. Okay. Now it has 2 claw attacks. One of which is going at Aeolus. Because you surrounded it. Aeolus, that's a natural 20.
Let's go.
Oh my. Aeolus, you
Let's
take
go.
41 points of slashing damage.
Bye-bye.
Oh shit.
Oh wow. And
Jesus.
one attack at the bear behind it, the things that are surrounding it, basically. 27 to hit Pink Bear for 25 points.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. Okay. You had conjure animals. Bears are gone anyway, because you
Yeah.
cast Fairy Fire.
Oh okay.
That I'm gonna re-roll the
Oh
attack.
no. Corin was holding.
You're right. You are totally right.
Concentration on the bears.
You
So
are right.
Willem still has his 1 point bear left.
Yep. I'll bring
Yay.
Willem's bear back. There we go. It had 1 left.
Great.
I
He's a
forgot.
very good
I
fan.
forgot Corin was concentrating on that. Thank you. Good catch.
Yep.
All right.
I did too for a second there.
Yeah. So
That would
Willem.
have been unbearable.
I like it. All right. That brings us to Willem. You don't even see that Aeolus goes down. You can't see Aeolus. There's a cone of icy frost blocking your vision as it's swirling through that space.
I love it.
But I can still see the glowing
Oh yeah.
owlbear, correct?
Yeah, you have a line of sight along this side here.
Cool. If possible, I'm going to go ahead and Misty Step right here.
All right.
Even if I have to take like a step over here first or something.
Yeah, I think 10-foot step, 10, and then Miss Step's what, 30 feet?
Yes.
If
15
it.
feet, and then I'm
I can go on another side of it. That's just fine. I'm
Yeah.
more than happy to over here instead.
yeah. I think that's a more likely. Yeah, the other side's a little bit too far without you risking an acrobatics check. But yeah, you can definitely get there, and now you're on these sort of inside these stalagmites where the bear's carcass just once was before it turned into magical dust.
It's fair. And then I am going to take a stabby at him.
Stabby with yep, go for it. You have advantage.
Ah, yes, thank you.
16 just misses.
That's a bummer.
You are far away at Siegfried. I'm sorry. All right. Your hound gets to move. I'll adjust your hound. Beautiful. Go for attacks. Hound can move out of the blind also.
Yeah. And I completely forgot. Well, I was putting him there, so I think what he would do is bite from here. What would he have? Yeah, he'd have advantage regardless. He has pack tactics. That's what I was looking at. But
Yeah. So
got fairy fire. So
exactly. Yeah. The reason to move out of the ice is because it's heavily obscured. It's disadvantage. Because you can't see, and no matter how many advantages you stack up, one disadvantage will cancel out all advantages, just like one advantage will cancel out all disadvantages.
No, absolutely.
23 absolutely hits.
You don't
Though.
get
Holy
super
crap.
advantage or super disadvantage. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 0-sum. 10 points of damage. As it sort of tears into the creature's form.
And now that strength saving throw.
Yep,
Thank you very much.
Strength save. And this thing's relatively strong. Wow. 16. That's a bad roll.
Getting closer.
It's a real bad roll. All right. And your bear can move and do bear things before we come to Siegfried.
This was my bear, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're gonna do some bear bowling.
Okay.
Go roll
Love
for
bear
bear
bowling.
bowling.
I want to strike. Thank you.
That's my backup character. It's a huge bipedal air person.
Yeah, we'll use the psychic rules for it.
Yeah.
You want to roll for the bear, Heather?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
There we go. Oh. You need to click the bite and the claw, respectively. Big rolls on both. That's 15 points of damage.
That's very good.
Nice. For a 1-point bear? It's awesome.
Yeah. He's barely holding on.
Oh.
Come on, guys. We need to
These jokes are grisly.
air
Oh my god.
combat.
All right. Siegfried, around to you.
So, can I see Aeolus or not?
Save us from these polarizing jokes.
Can I see Aeolus or do I-
You cannot currently. You got to move.
Okay. So that's
I'm
where I
fine.
can
Don't
move.
worry about me.
Yeah, you can any line of sight you can draw that's not through that cone.
Okay. Also to clarify, so the wind that the bear disappears into is like building up again.
So
Is that
yeah, so that it's this sort of like whirling like throughout the entire cavern. It's not, and it picks up some snow. The cone is totally opaque though because of how dense it is.
but the wind that's coming in the cave, that's the what it uses to become
Yeah.
invisible?
Seemingly so.
Okay. Kind of want to stop that from happening. If I don't see Aeolus up.
Yeah, it is currently fairy fired.
Okay. So as long as it's fairy fired, it can't disappear yet. Okay.
Seemingly so.
Okay. I'm trying to decide what to do.
Yeah, tough call.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm going to
The
see-
closest you would need to be along this line
Yeah.
to see Aeolus.
So that's about as far as I can move if I
Yeah.
do an acrobatics check. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do an acrobatics check to get closer.
Sounds good. Go for it. Easy enough.
Oh, I think I'm sending only to GM right now, too.
Oh, yeah, you can swap that off. I was adding line breaks into your Cosmic Omen and Starry Form.
Yeah, makes sense. So I can move here.
Yep.
I still have an action. Don't see Aeolus, I don't think. No.
Not currently, no. Now, this is the second time Siegfried has seen this cone. You're aware that it's going to drop when the owlbear starts to move again.
Mm-hmm.
It only lasts for a few seconds.
Okay. So I'm just gonna launch a guiding bolt at it. Using my star map.
Go for it. You have advantage.
Yep.
Nat 20.
Nat 1. 20 hits.
Yep.
13 points of radiant damage into the side of this creature.
And I guess it's
Look it
glowing
up.
too, I guess, on top of the starry, but I don't think the fairy fire, but hopefully it helps us track them a little bit easier.
Half of it's yellow now. It looks like a Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah, I still have
RV's at it.
bonus action.
Yeah.
I forget if I use my star map. Does that count as a leveled spell?
No, it's stored.
Okay. So Helly could use some healing, but everyone else seems okay. I will launch a level 1 healing word towards Helly and then heal myself a little bit.
Okay. So
Using the
healing word for
talisman.
Heller.
Thank you.
Helleras is not able to be seen by you. She's inside the cone.
Or she's in the cone.
Okay. Then I won't do anything. That's my turn.
Okay. Holding. That brings us to Dunnan, currently prone in the cone.
Oh, first he's getting up
Sure. Half your move.
and sees shit, I guess. So, do I roll for, I don't know, a direction?
No, you know where it focused. You know which
Okay.
direction to move. So
And
5 feet gets you there.
I think 5 feet, yeah. He'll say, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you are going down. And so, straight roll or are we flanking?
Yeah, it's advantage. You have fairy fire.
That's fair fire. Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
Fairy fire was a great
Oh.
call. Yeah, dodge a natural 1.
God damn it.
That would have been 2 in a row for you.
I have to tick off the branding smite, sorry.
All good. 22 does hit though, so that's 8 points of bludgeoning, 5 points of radiant, and then
Yeah.
it's 2 for the fighting style, right? No smite.
Yes.
Okay. So
Right.
8, 13, 15 points total.
The second hit.
Second attack, go for it. Hey, there's a crit.
Yes.
All
Know
right.
what's coming now.
Nothing else, right? 7,
Yes, indeed.
10, 15, 17. Alright, so just a level 1 smite.
Yes.
16 points. It is looking bad after that. Anything else? Done.
You're gonna get your ride. That's it.
It sort of makes this cawing roar in your face.
Mm.
Round to Hellerast. In the cone.
In the cone. Ah, wish
You're
that
currently
bear was
blinded.
someplace else. Blinded,
Yeah.
but am I aware that it's just kind of behind me to get out of the cone?
You know vaguely where it is, yeah. You
Okay.
The last thing you saw was it blasting this cold cone in your face.
Can she move to here without incurring an opportunity attack?
You can risk it.
She wants out of the cone.
You don't know if the bear is affected by the owlbear is affected by its own things or not. You don't know if it can
Since
see
I'm
or
in
not.
there, but since I'm in there, I can't see anything, right?
You cannot see, yeah. You know where it is, you know where your friends were last time you saw them.
She's gonna go ahead and step here, trying to stay within his 5-foot range.
You can't go through that spot there.
I can't go with that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't go. Can I go here?
You would need to walk around the bear, so that might be risk.
Oh, okay.
You'd be moving to 10 feet away from it.
Okay.
Yes.
Then she's just gonna move here, behind the bear,
Behind the bear. All right.
behind the bear, and do a spellfire short bow.
Oh, hold on one moment. As you step back out of the creature's reach, it seems to not care about its own effects, and it is going to make a beak attack towards you. As an opportunity
Okay.
attack.
Okay.
Does a 19 hit you?
Yep.
It's me 21 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
And a wisdom saving throw, please. Why are you at 53 hit points?
I was below 75 for some reason when we started. And then I got hit by something
Okay.
earlier.
Yeah,
That's fine.
your token was showing 1. I don't know why. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
All right, yeah. So 21 points of piercing. I need a wisdom saving throw from you as well, please.
I did it.
Oh, perfect. Fantastic. You just succeed against being frightened by the creature. I also need a Constitution saving throw for your concentration on Fairy Fire. DC is 10. Yeah, you're fine. All right, now you can use your action.
Spellfire short bow. Assuming that the pelts, the face of the pelt isn't as important as anything else. She's going to go ahead and try to aim for the head.
Okay. Making a short bow attack or actually using the mechanics of the item and burning a spell slot.
Oh, burning a spell slot.
Okay, go for it. Was it first level spell slot?
Let's see. No, I'll use second level.
Okay, second. So that makes it a third. So that means you get 3 plus 2. So you get 5 shots at 2 damage each for 10 total.
Nice.
It is still hanging on as it sort of snarls as you sort of ripped yourself away from the beak, preventing it from eating you. Anything else, Heather asked?
Not for me. Corin will move her space and come up here next between Aeolus and the hound
Sure.
and take her attack.
Go for it.
Let's see.
27. Alright, so Corin just sort of scuttles over the ice, sort of launches herself at the owlbear, and in a very grotesque reimagining of how you conjure Corin into existence, it just sort of burrows itself inside of the owlbear for a moment. That's enough to kill it. It had 1 left after that Spellfire short bow roll.
Yeah.
I assumed you were going to get it, and then you rolled a 2. So
Yay!
that will be success there.
And now we just have to try to skin this thing, right?
That's gonna take you guys out of initiative. Aeolus, roll me a death save. Okay. Clear initiative. About 2 seconds after you kill this thing, Corin sort of emerges, viscera dripping from her form. Where's the map? There it is. Move my cone out of the way. Any of you doing anything? Any immediate moments following this?
We'll probably bring
Oh.
Aeolus back.
Go over to Aeolus since the threat is gone. I'll reach down saying, "What are you doing on the floor?" And I'll lay on hands him for 30. So he gets 30
Sure.
hit points back.
Corin's gonna bound over like a puppy to Hellerast and jump up on her. Like she's so excited. And Helly's just gonna kind of wipe the viscera off of her and tell her it's okay to drop concentration, and 1 point bear will disappear out of existence and Corin will go back to her happy place.
Seeing
Come
that
on,
I'm,
Aeolus. You got some skinning to do.
So how much does Aeolus heal for?
30 hit points.
30. Oh god.
I can help whoever is going to do the skinning as well if you want to do it, Aeolus.
Yep. After I gain my bearings.
You guys fought
I will
tooth and claw
Sorry.
there.
I'll step over to William and say, "Do you think it built that with its bare hands?"
I don't even have a good response. I'm sorry, but that's great.
Just bear with me for one moment.
I was so close too.
Do you see what I whispered to you?
Yep.
I think while they are skinning, Willem and I will explore the rest of the cave.
Sure.
I totally was going to suggest
Scavenging through.
So thank you.
Hmm?
I was saying that I was going to suggest the exact same thing, so I was thanking him.
Alright, those of you who are exploring, let me know where you're exploring first.
I think it's down there. On there.
Yeah.
Is it safe to walk there, or is it also ice?
Any of the work stone, is
Okay.
not like it's covered in frost, but it's not an ice rink that you're sort of slipping and sliding around on at the moment.
We'll just go there.
Alright,
See if there's any
so
port, or I don't know.
who's working the pelt? It's Aeolus and Siegfried, right? The rest of you are exploring?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. This breathtaking circular chamber. The walls of the room are made of shimmering ice with chunks of stone.
What?
The semi-translucent ice formations reveal a mesmerizing play of light as you step in, as if the room was illuminated from within. Frost clings to the icy surfaces, casting a faint blue hue throughout the space. The air within the room is noticeably colder, and you can see your breaths almost crystallizing the frigid atmosphere. The circular shape of this chamber creates an otherworldly and ethereal ambiance, as if you've stumbled into a hidden realm of ice and frost. Scattered across the floor and worked tiled stone are countless remains of broken bones and scraps of hide. It seems like this chamber's floor has been used as a refuse pile of your quarry. Dunnan, you're first in. Roll me an investigation check, please. 13. Alright, roll me 2d20 and a d100. Okay. Dunnan, you find 3 gold pieces, 13 silver pieces, and 92 copper pieces scattered amongst the remains. It seems like some of these things were at one point were humanoids. Maybe hikers, mountaineers of some sort that fell prey to this creature. And that's what they had on them.
Just some money from the leftovers here.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna pocket that.
Yeah, a couple coins.
Where's our... Where's the party loot?
I mean, you can add to your sheet if you want. Whatever's easiest. Or else can add it to party loot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Hey,
on to the
Danny,
next
over
one.
here.
Ooh.
Looks interesting.
Okay. You can go ahead and move down like 20, 30 feet into the area proper. Alright. As you move further into this, what once was this Alvar's lair, you enter a set of square-ish chambers. These chambers, although distinct, share similar characteristics here and off to the left of the map. The walls seem to be hewn from ancient stone, showcasing the remnants of the area people who might have once occupied this space. Time has worn away some of the finer details, but there are hints of intricate carvings and symbols that can be discerned. Any of the 3 of you can make a history check if you'd like to try to recognize any of the carvings.
Can I do that? Because
You can make it
dwarves
at
have
advantage.
something with stones, yeah.
Sorry, you get double your proficiency bonus. Your proficiency is +3. So go ahead and make a history check for me. Done.
Mm-hmm.
This Helleras just casually crits it. So Hellerat, Dunning, you get +6 on that, so that's a 20. And then Willem, did you want to roll as well? Willem, pretty stones. It's just stones, whatever. Hellerast and Dunnan. Hellerast, you recognize some of the carvings as iconic from your own language. It's what you really immediately pick up on. Is there's parts of the stone here that have Orcish runes still inscribed upon them. Not enough to really make out what they say, but recognizable to the a point where you can accurately place an origin to some of these works. Dunnan, not speaking the language, you pick up something slightly different from these. There's a series of carvings that seem to resemble a warning. Of what, you're not sure, but there's shapes that seem to indicate paying homage to something, or reverence, almost religious in iconography. It's this offering and respect and treating something or someone's or some things with religious zeal, almost, is echoed throughout the motifs within this space. What the subject of these worships would be, or subjects, you're not sure. But it's clearly this must have been a religious space of some sort, based on the iconography.
Based on these carvings there on the wall, I think that was some kind of temple. I don't recognize them. But it was a long time ago. Well, maybe there's still something of value in here.
Alright. About 10 feet to the north of where your token is, there's the other side of that ice plug that stopped up. So there's a wall of just semi-opaque ice.
Alright, there is the ice wall. We saw from the other side, so it's just to the left, I think. Is there anything left? Some cupboards? Some, I don't know.
No, this space has more of the same sort of carvings as the motif. There's an area off to north, which is more natural, and then there's one to the south, north one. Make me a perception check, all three of you, please.
Damn it, Hilarious.
Jeez. There's other numbers on the dice, you know that?
It's a 20-sided dice.
Alright. We'll come back to
And
Heather
all
in a moment.
20 of her sides are 20s.
Alright, Dunnan and Willem looking into this space here. The floor here is covered in a thick layer of snow, and the walls are adorned with half-grown stalactites and stalagmites that glisten like frozen daggers, creating this stark and icy environment. The presence of the creature the group of you have just slain in this space is unmistakable. There's a series of shallow divots here that seem to be meticulously dug into the snow and ice. These recesses seem to have served as the creature's sort of resting and nesting areas. There's various sizes, and there's tufts of snow and fur and feathers within each of them. There's natural contours and impressions within the space. Despite the wildness of the scene, there's a sense of sort of comfort almost within this area. It's strange. It's very secluded even from the rest of the cave, and you see it curves around off to away from you.
Spooky.
You gather, reconnecting back into the space where you previously fought it.
Can we hear anything
You do not.
besides?
The wind has died down, and you're suitably tucked back away. Maybe that's what adds to the comfort of this space. It's quiet, serene, despite the ever-present wind on the mountain outside.
Oh, this must have been its resting place here. Oh, kind of feel bad a little bit.
Hellarest. with your natural 20, as you were right here, you find a hallway stretches away from you, seemingly perfectly straight. Unlike the previous areas where there's sort of ice that helps refract any light that's filtering through, this hallway descends into darkness, its end hidden from view. It slopes downward at a gradual angle, and that makes it difficult to discern what lies ahead. There's stagnant air. It feels heavy by comparison. Above and around you, the cave, the natural environment, there's a few sounds that very distant, sort of filtering through from behind you. Aeolus and Siegfried discussing as they work on that. Small echoes that sort of punctuate the silence of this space. But ahead of you, there's nothing.
Ew. Guys, this place feels a little dark. What do you think? Dunny? William? Willem?
Ooh. I like dark feeling things. Can I see?
Sure, be my guest.
You look down the hallway into darkness.
Oh, it's real cozy in here.
You have no idea how far the hallway goes. It's sloped away from you at about a 10% grade.
Do we have any torches left?
I do have a few.
Or did we burn them all for fuel?
I think you still have a good number of them, although I don't know if
10
the group
left.
you were had them earmarked to be able to make a campfire.
Hmm.
I will light the torch.
Okay, light a torch.
And
Yeah,
we'll go
Like-
ahead and go down.
a little bit closer to that dark.
The faint
Kelly's
illumination from the torch casts eerie shadows along the walls. As you take a few steps, you get this impression of unseen dangers lurking in the depths in front of you. It's a very foreboding feeling as you begin taking your steps.
Getting
Kelly's
weird
just gonna-
vibes.
Ellie's going to holler back at Aeolus and Siegfried and say, "We found a tunnel. Please listen for screams." And then she'll just keep going with Willem and Dylan.
Okay. Do you start down the tunnel?
Yes.
Certainly. We'll come back to you. Siegfried, Aeolus, you get to work on this creature. It's massive. Where are you starting? You're working on the pelt? You're setting a fire so the body doesn't freeze? What are you going to do?
It's
Aeolus, heeding the words that were given to them, will start a fire.
Okay. What fuel source do you have?
I have 2 torches and 30 crossbow bolts.
Okay. That'll buy you 3 hours, I think, of fire, so to speak. And just sort of spark everything up and pile it on. You start working. Who's going to be rolling and who's going to be giving advantage here? Helping. Or are you each going to take your own rolls?
I have we're doing survival, right? So I have a +10 to survival.
No, there'll be this is going to be a series of rolls. Not just survival. So, if you guys want, you could decide as I call for the rolls. So,
I mean, Aeolus, if you want to keep the fire going, I can just cast enhance ability on myself.
to start
Aeolus
with,
will-
sorry, go ahead.
Aeolus will hand Siegfried his hunting knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will cast Enhance Ability on myself.
Okay, 4.
Wisdom.
Okay, noted. So the first roll is for survival, for sort of
Yeah.
starting out on this hide and knowing how to do that.
Actually, sorry. I'm going to take that back. Or I am going to actually go into dragon form.
Okay, noted. So not
Actually, I'll
using
do-
enhance ability.
No, I'm doing both. I'm gonna use both.
Okay, so enhance ability, wisdom, and dragon form.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. So first roll survival. Go ahead and give that for me, please.
Yep.
Well, Aeolus gets the fire tended. Yeah, go ahead.
And then whenever Aeolus feels, whenever I feel like I can help with guidance, I will attempt to. It's still something
Okay.
new to me, so
So, Siegfried, you start working your way through. You start at some of the wounds that the group of you caused, not wanting to add extra holes to this hide. And you very slowly sort of start trying to carefully just make the lines that way you can carefully. You're not actually disconnecting it from the form yet. You're just sort of cutting the upper layer, so that way when you start taking it off, it's not tearing in spots that you don't expect. So easily enough done. You sort of make. If you've ever seen like images of how butchers sort of cut up things, you make these lines sort of around it so you can cut off the strips of hide as needed. That's set. Next up, that takes the better part of an hour of time working on that, being extremely careful to do this. During this time, Aeolus and Siegfried, about half an hour in, you hear your companions call back, "We're going down a tunnel!" It's the last you heard from them. Listen for screams, whatever hell the rest had said. You don't hear any screams.
Exactly what she said.
Yeah. You don't hear any screams over the remainder of the time you work. After that's all set, fire's still burning, keeping the corpse as warm as possible. I need a dexterity check. It'd be a sleight of hand from either of you. As you slowly start, this is the fine work of sort of using the knife to separate the hide from the subcutaneous fat of the creature.
This time I will trade off Aeolus. I think has a better sleight of hand. I think than I do, right?
my dexterity scores a 13.
I have a +2 to sleight of hand.
I do not.
Okay.
So
I will keep going then, but I will cast Enhance Ability on myself again.
Okay.
This time for Cat's Grace.
Okay.
and Spencer, if
Yeah.
you'll allow me, I would like to cast guidance, and how Aeolus goes about it is he'll start to give pointers to Siegfried about how to work the hunting knife, and
Okay.
how you have to let the blade do most of the work for you.
Okay. I'd like a Constitution save from both of you. DC 14. All right. Aeolus, you can swap back off Whisper. Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me the sleight of hand check as well, Siegfried, with advantage. Thanks to enhance ability and guidance. You get a plus D4. Hey, there you go. Go ahead and give the D4 also. 24. Jeez. Okay. Virtually no mistakes as you're going. Siegfried, the constant advice, sort of backseat, skinning a creature, grates on your nerves a little bit, and it does affect your concentration over this time as well. Mark down a point of exhaustion for the duration of this activity. Once you're done, it's gone, but it's the the nerves of him sort of whispering in your ear for
Can I
this time.
wheel myself for that roll?
For the save. Can you wheel yourself, or is it only an ally?
I'm not. It just says a creature.
Yeah, sure. DC was 14, so you need a 6.
Yep.
Go for it.
Nope.
Not quite. Alright, so it doesn't affect this roll, but for any future rolls that you make during this activity, you're going to have disadvantage. Unless you counteract it in some way. The next about 40 minutes of very carefully sort of peeling back the skin and then very just letting the weight of the knife cut the subcutaneous fat, you get most of all of the strips off. Even around the wounds that you had caused, the hide does not tear. You remarkably well rolled here. Final check. I need a nature check from one of you. This is more about how to carefully store it and process it and make sure that all of the things that could rot and cause the hide to become damaged during your travel. While you're in a cold environment now, you're not going to be in a cold environment before you can get it tanned. So being able to preserve it in that changing environment and make sure there's nothing that would cause it to get damaged over time. Nature check from one of you.
I have +4, but I'm disadvantaged right now, Aeolus.
Okay, I can roll it. Since
Okay.
this is Aeolus's since this is his test.
Can I this time can I cast guidance on Aeolus?
Sure.
You'll get like a little bit of the starry form.
A nice roll. As Siegfried removes pieces and you're sort of whispering in his ear, there's a little bit of a steal in his voice, we'll call it. But over time, as he removes like about 7 different pieces where he had to sort of cut it and make it work for the different parts of this hide, you carefully go over everything with the light of the fire next to you, the filtering blue light from the entrance to the cave, and with all of your tools, and sort of scrape any remnants of meat or fat that you can off of the hide to the point that it's almost paper thin. It's remarkably thin for the hide. You would expecting something much heavier like a cow or something. It's not quite. A lot of the weight of this creature's hide comes from the fur and the feathers that are stuck in, and you're very careful to not lose any of the feathers as you go. Series of fantastic rolls. And well within the time that you had that fire going, as by the time the two of you are finished, the fire is just about burnt out. Add to the party inventory 7 pieces of the dire owlbear hide. Each piece weighs 30 pounds. And then you have the skinned carcass here as well. The grouper, you can also add to your inventory 10 owlbear talons and 1 beak.
And I would also like to work on removing the teeth and carving meat for.
There's no teeth, it's a beak.
Oh. Yeah.
Whatever is left, like whatever we leave behind, Siegfried would like to just lay a kami charm on it and say a prayer to the owl bear we just dismembered.
Sure, make me a religion check. No disadvantage, you can remove the exhaustion.
Cool.
Noted. Okay.
And I will cosmic omen this one too.
Sure, go for it. Roll a d6.
Yeah,
9.
so it's a 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed. Were we able to, like, are owlbear hairs edible? Are we able to cut some up?
Yeah, you're in the tunnel right now.
Okay.
How many talons again?
10.
10.
Yeah. You You guys rolled really well across all of
Yeah.
those, so got a
Um,
full sweep.
And
I guess
will-
we should probably pack this up and go after them before they start something else.
Let's jump back to the other group. Enter the tunnel. Start walking. The torch is your only way to sort of mark time as you take steps into this space. This torch burns out. Do you light another one, Dunnan?
I have 10, so yes.
Okay, now the torch
Before
flares
the
into
other one,
existence.
yeah.
Continue stepping forward. Dunnan, make me an intelligence check.
Wait. My strong suit.
These walls are unadorned, whereas the previous ones had sort of carvings upon them. These have none. 15, great roll.
Oh, not bad.
After another half hour, this torch burns out. Do you light another one?
Guess so.
As you light this third torch, you realize you've been walking into this space for the better part of an hour, and you don't think this tunnel has deviated more than a half inch. It is incredibly perfectly straight. It's at an angle, but it has not changed this entire time. You're just in darkness. Tunnel before you, tunnel behind you, unchanging. And as you light up this third torch, you realize how long the three of you have been walking. Time has just sort of slipped by. Do you continue downwards, or do you turn back to your compatriots who you left behind? All three of you.
How long have you been going? Like 2 hours?
An hour.
1 hour?
Each torch lasts half an hour. Yeah.
And the sense of distance is, I think, hard to measure. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, a few 100 feet. I
Oh,
don't know how
fuck.
long.
Yeah. I mean, you've been walking for an hour, so think about if you move, let's say, 2/3 of your movement, let's say 20 feet or so every round, which is 6 seconds, and you've been walking for an hour.
So somebody 30 feet within us, one of the other party members?
Hmm?
I was just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
Helly's feeling really apprehensive, not really finding anything of worth. She's kind of hesitant to continue without the rest of the party.
Yeah. I just, Dunnan would say, I think it's rather pointless to continue. I mean, we have what we came for, so let's pack our stuff and leave. I mean, I think there's no point in going onwards.
Well, Helly's feeling like there's a reason for the tunnel to go so far and to slope down. It's like we're going to come out. She's wondering if they're going to come out at the more of a bottom part of the mountain. And she wants to keep going, but she just wants to keep going together.
Can I sit down and meditate and speak to the darkness? See if it
Certainly.
gives
Sure.
me the answers.
Sure.
Does it invade my soul with the goody feeling of terror?
We will see. So you sit down on the tunnel. It's a little uncomfortable to sit because there's no flat area. Everything's at an angle here. But you sit. Find a way. Feel your butt sliding very slightly on the stone. It's cold. You close your eyes. Make me a religion check. Sort of open up your mind. Try to wonder what's going on around you, where this leads. No answers come. Your thoughts begin to race. about what your companions are doing back behind you. And you try to close off the thoughts of where you came from and what might lie ahead as they just sort of tumble over each other, one thought hitting another, triggering another, almost like an avalanche of errant thoughts. And you isolate yourself into this dark, singular space. Find a little bit of peace. You don't find answers.
Suppose it happens.
Does the darkness speak to you?
I don't think this is that kind of darkness, unfortunately. I tried real hard and it didn't
It's a
say
rude
anything back.
darkness.
What?
It's a rude darkness.
Well, probably, or not very chatty.
Mm. I don't feel comfortable going onwards. We should at least get the others if you want to continue. I mean, let's see if they had done a good job skinning
agree.
this all here.
Yeah, I agree. It would be nice to show them this false darkness.
What's the temperature like in there?
Cold, but not quite freezing.
Okay, so it
Maybe
wouldn't be-
40 degrees.
Ooh.
By comparison to the outside of the mountain, warm.
Mm-hmm. Balmy.
Like, it's still very cold, but you're not freezing.
Not freezing. So it would be best to at least spend the night and take a long rest here rather than trying to head down the mountain because we don't even know what time it is, do we?
The group of you do not know. It was towards the end of the day when you found the entrance to the cave, but you don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we kind of spent also, also energy-wise.
Absolutely.
Let's get back to the others and then discuss our next steps. I mean, we have to get down from this stupid mountain, and we are not sure if this way, and he points to the long hallway, even gets us down. But who builds such a long tunnel? It's weird.
Helly's not really excited about going uphill for another hour, but he'll turn around and start walking,
Okay.
guessing that it's going to take us longer than an hour to get back up.
Not terribly. It's not a very steep incline. It's just
Okay.
only about 10 degrees.
So, how many torches do I burn? 3?
Well, so you're on your third now.
Mm.
We'll say that conversation spent 15 minutes. So you burn another 2 getting back to the entrance. So 5 total.
Yeah. So 6 left.
Yeah. And your last torch starts to expire as you enter back into the space where your tokens are.
5.
Hour 45, half hour in. Yeah, probably about the same time that Aeolus and Siegfried are just wrapping up, and their fire is burning out. What the group you want to do?
Aeolus will shakingly take his hunting knife back.
Can I ritually cast detect magic?
Certainly. Spend 10 minutes time.
And then just do like a once over of where the others had gone through already.
Certainly.
And Helly's all for taking a long rest if possible. She's still banged up.
Nothing
we
of
should
note
rest.
to you, Siegfried, within the spaces that you walk through whilst the spell is active.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nothing
And
from
you've done
the
it.
hallway that they're mentioning.
Alright. So, group of you going a long rest? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, Danan would suggest we use the nest of the owlbear because it seemed comfortable and I don't know, cozy.
Sure.
I would also ask Siegfried, I'm getting low on torches. Do I have magical means to create some light? Because, and he points down to the hallway, this goes far,
yeah.
far, and it's pitch dark in there.
Yeah, Siegfried has the ability to cast Produce Flame. I can at
Oh,
least
great.
hold this while I'm walking.
Great.
Not much heat, though.
Well, there's not much heat anywhere here, but we'll manage. The question is, do we now go down this hallway or do we go back the way we came from? Because we got the owlbear pelt we needed. I mean, we have no idea where this goes to.
Aeolus, what do you think? I mean, I can't help but be curious of what built this thing.
Just remember, we are on a tight schedule here.
Yes, but we also have horses.
Well, presumably we have horses if they are still there. We left them.
Well, if we get back to logging camp and we don't have horses, then heads are gonna roll. As the group's preparing for a long rest, Aeolus is gonna take one of his ropes and is going to take one of the pints of lantern oil and is going to start massaging it into the rope.
Okay.
So that they can use the rope as a
Like a lantern wick?
yeah.
Okay. A pint of... I'll say half of you get 25 feet worth with a single pint of oil.
Okay.
Where did we store the pelts? Do we throw that in the... I always forget, bag of holding?
I think so. It's in the party loot right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have 7
It's a
pieces.
shitload of pelt.
Yeah, it's 210 pounds worth of pelt.
I don't know. Well, I mean, speaking of time, Aeolus, these materials are gonna go bad if we wait longer.
Jesus, 100 kilogram.
It will. So, do we want to trek back down outside the mountain, or do we venture down the tunnel in the hopes that it brings us to our side and hopefully not the opposite side of what we need to hop out of?
Well, I'm not the smart one here, but logically wise, it must have been... This here must have been the end point, the temple here, right? And I don't think that whatever was here was always... They didn't always climb the mountain to get here, so... I don't know. It must be the way down, right? I mean this hallway there.
Temple?
Or temple, whatever.
Why do you think this place is a temple?
Well, I'll explain. I saw some carvings and got the vibe that's for religious purposes. And I point out the carvings on the wall. I think Cjbeards got the same feeling as I did.
Absolutely, I did.
The carvings that he points out, does it look like the altar that we were at that was desecrated?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Yeah, has Siegfried ever seen these carvings before?
Taking a glance, you have not. No.
Yeah, he would just try and take a recording of them in his journal then.
That's good. Take note of them.
Well, at the very least, if we long rest, I can at least change out some spells that could hopefully help us get down easier, whether it be inside or outside.
That would
Elrath,
be appreciated.
are you able to ask your pawns if following the tunnel would lead us where we want to go?
Sure. She'll do it.
You cast your bones. I believe the results options are wheel, woe, both, or neither, correct?
Correct.
Okay. As you take some time and sort of read what they tell you, neither. Your ability is a course of action within the next 30 minutes. You know that the tunnel is far longer than that time-wise, so it's your only reading is there's nothing really good or bad about it in the next 30 minutes of tunnel, so to speak. So, as
So
you
it's
sort
up to us, guys. We need to decide for ourselves.
We should sleep on it first. I'm pretty tired from the
Okay.
climbing, and I mean, we can decide on the tomorrow.
Aeolus will use his cure wounds on Hellerest.
Oh, thank you.
you get 6 points of healing and 6 points of lightning damage. How convenient.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so used to this.
Worst static
Yeah, it's
electricity
his-
ever.
This clown buzzer in his hand where they
Yeah.
shock you
Yeah,
when
he's
you
got
shake
he's
hands.
got fuzzy socks on. He was walking around on the carpet. All right. So settling in for a long rest, using the den of this dire snowy owlbear, whose carcass is now at the towards the entrance of this space, hopefully as a warning for any other creatures to enter. Let's take our mid-session break here,
Okay.
and we'll
Yep.
pick up in about 6 minutes on a 40. Sounds good?
Yes.
Sure. That's good.
All right.
Alrighty.
See you in a bit.
character death in the three campaigns that we've played.
You come close
don't-
several times.
Yes, with except for, well, no,
I think the closest it came to was when Kalon fell into the lava during the.
I think that might have been your closest call. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I cast that the one that succeeds, that spell that makes you succeed on a death save on her, like brings her
Yeah.
back one hit point. I think that's what saved her. So that was the closest.
And then she outlived all of you.
I mean,
I think you guys cast Revivify at one point also.
I'm sure we did.
I can't remember that.
I think we came close
Armis was so close.
on Armis. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
I thought you had cast Revivify on Armis.
I think we
What?
did at the very end.
Oh, right, because it
No.
was yeah.
Yeah. I think Armis technically didn't survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Armis
had a ritual at the
hated
end.
because
Until
he
the
was
very end. Yeah.
Also, you fell into the lava as an ape, I think, and I pulled you out of the Cape of Mountebank.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
recall right.
And
Yeah.
also,
It was a good fight.
Bill's character almost got. I had to sacrifice the staff of the Python to save Bill during that fight. Otherwise, he would have definitely died.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm honestly not.
That was Wolfram.
Wolfram, yeah.
I'm honestly not surprised we had that many close calls in that campaign.
That
That
was fine.
campaign's meant to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's not.
I mean, Aeolus has been the closest.
That's because you have terrible constitution.
It's it. I
Alright.
decided that it was going to be a dumb stat.
Let's get back into it then.
And you refuse to rest as a character.
Yeah, that who. All right. Getting back into it. The group of you do find that these nests that the owlbear had remarkably comfortable, warm enough with your bedrolls that you can manage to sleep the night. You do all complete a long rest, so you can all mark that down and do appropriate spell selection as needed.
Hello, is there any way that you can make turkey out of some owlbear meat?
I bet it would. Well, I bet it'd be kind of gamey and maybe a little tough, but yeah, I think we just have to make a marinade. But we've got plenty of ale, and then we can. Oh, we need a container. Yeah. I think we can do it.
Make me an intelligence check using your chef's tools.
And how much owlbear meat can we possibly carry?
12. Okay.
In the bag of holding.
So the bag of holding currently has the cask of ale that you bought, the smaller cask of liquor which you still had, and 210 pounds of owlbear pelt at the moment. So
It is close.
you're getting full there. That said, the carcass that's now been preserved by the cold after your long rest, and you could probably saw through because it's frozen through at this point, is roughly 1,500 pounds of owlbear. So if you wanted to get some meat, you can get some meat. You don't have the equipment to properly turn it into jerky at the moment, but you could get some.
question is, how
Basically,
long-
however much you want, Willem.
Helly will take 20 pounds. If we divide it up, it shouldn't be too bad to get hard to get 100 pounds of meat out of this thing.
Yeah, I would take whatever premium, cuts
And,
they could.
Siegfried also
And,
has a little bit of extra carrying capacity.
Yeah.
So I would take whatever you could take, because you would feel bad about wasting all that meat.
Yeah. What's your strength score? Siegfried.
15.
15. Okay. So strength. Your carrying capacity in pounds is determined by your strength score times 15. Yours is times 30.
Okay.
So you can carry, I think 450 pounds, if my math is accurate.
Damn, that much, damn.
1 sec. Yeah, 450. I'm on the money there.
Yeah, I would try and carry as much as I can then.
No, that includes all of the gear that you have on you.
Yeah. I have 166 worth of gear on me, so I guess I'll take 300 pounds?
Call it 250.
250, okay.
No.
How can you carry that? Just
Because I'm
with your hands?
giant, that's why.
And my strength score is 20, so how much can I carry?
20 by 15 would be 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could take some of the.
You have 2 eyes in little, also, Siegfried.
What? Sorry, I missed that.
You have 2 eyes
yeah.
in little on that ability.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. It says, yeah, I see that.
So we could probably take maybe one of the tarps and put meat into that and fashion it as a holding.
Just sort of wrap it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Siegfried also has the tarp, the wax tarp on him as well. So he would wrap whatever he could in that.
Aeolus will also take some of the meat, not as much as everyone else, because
You're weak.
he's frail with his strength score.
Willem, would of course pack in what he could as well.
Yeah. There's enough meat that all of you can basically carry up to a reasonably close amount to your capacity if you want. There's a lot of meat. I'm not sure how it tastes yet. Willem does his best part, sort of parceling out the cuts of the frozen meat, and you're basically carrying ice at this point, but you're loaded up. Which direction are you going to travel? Outside of the mountain or in the tunnel?
Well, with that much amount of meat, I think there's only one way.
Yeah.
Through the tunnel.
Okay.
Let's go.
Is it a secret tunnel?
Secret tunnel.
I mean, it may be a secret tunnel if it leads to something that carved a perfect round shape.
Before we depart, Siegfried will cast Dark Vision on himself.
Okay, lasts for 8 hours. Mark off the slot.
And but I will also cast Produce Flame while I'm walking.
Okay.
I will,
So you have
will
a
also increase my strength score.
okay. The pack feels slightly lighter. As you set out down the tunnel, anything that the group of you discuss while you're going, or just working on more language skills?
Just be like, so what happened with all the horses? I don't think I was there for that.
Bugrim's watching them at the set logging camp / putting them to work hauling
Everyone-
logs.
Everyone's angry at Bugram for some reason, though.
I don't know.
No, no.
It was a
You provided free
was a-
workhorses to him.
yeah, and it was a you can't put them to work because they're not workhorses, they're riding horses.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, totally going to work.
Yeah, Siegfried say that. Yeah.
If you work them to death, I'm gonna bash his head in.
They're part of like a 20-horse team right now, hauling logs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Miserable work.
At the very least, they do care about their horses because it's very expensive to get them replaced.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I don't think Bugram would
Yours,
work them to death, but he would definitely work them.
yours is called Big Un. Your horse, Siegfried.
I mean, horses do need some exercise.
Yeah. All right. Those of you working on languages, I believe it's Aeolus and Hellerast. You can each add 1 hour completed to that work.
Ooh,
As
16.
you travel down this tunnel in monotonous, unchanging darkness, illuminated only by Siegfried's hand, for the next 4 hours. The air finally starts growing warmer, and 4 hours after, there is a change in the tunnel, finally. It flattens out, and it feels actually uneasy walking on flat ground after being on this very slight slope this entire time. And ahead of you, an archway of white. When you approach, you realize it's light coming in from the outside, and your eyes are not used to it. It's closer and closer. It's painfully bright, of being in this perpetual twilight, flickering with the fire, and that's it. Finally step out, and it takes a good few seconds for your eyes to adjust to this blinding light. Around you is, you hear the sounds of chirping birds, animals, scurrying. You hear wind sort of blowing through the treetops nearby. You are not in the coniferous forest that you expected to come out into, though, but at Hellerest's surmise that this comes down to the bottom of the mountains. You stepped into a very humid, lush, covered in grasses, undergrowth, ferns, fronds, surrounding tall trees draped with vines. You're in this primeval feeling jungle, and you can hear the constant hum of insects throughout the space.
I'm Odin's balls. Please tell me we're on the right side of the mountains.
I think
Probably
we
not.
are.
Great. So we have no idea where we are.
Is
It's-
this anything that Siegfried, Hellerast, or I would have seen in our time spent around Elder Thorn and the logging camps in the areas?
You've never seen some of these plants before.
Well,
If you,
that
at
makes
just
me
at just a
excited.
glance, like some of these plants that you see, they look similar to things that you've probably seen, but this is not things with which you are familiar.
Are we able to go back through the archway?
You turn around, look. Yeah, there's a sort of a domed arch that you had come through, and it's set into this rock face. And craning your neck back, looking up, you can see a large cliff face that then sort of angles away from you and the snow-capped peaks of the mountain behind you. It's about noon at this point, and the sun looks like has just come over the mountain range, and it's now directly above you.
Based on how much time has passed, does the sun look like it's in the right spot?
Yeah, it's noon. Close to noon. The sun's overhead. Seems like where it should be.
It's not like when we crossed into the desert and the sun was kind of in a different area.
No.
Okay. I would just examine the archway. There's not like a bode stone in the archway. We didn't accidentally walk through a gate.
There is not, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I understand where you're going there.
Fly after that. At least it's not a bode stone. Oh, what do we do? We can double back. I mean, honestly, if we keep going forward, I have no idea when we'll even be able to get back across the mountain.
Yeah.
I think it's the best bet to turn around. I mean, we don't even have a map of this place. But nobody recognizes any plants or so.
It
I
could
would
be
like-
fun to explore it, though.
Yeah,
I would like
which
to
means we discovered it.
I would like to spend a few minutes investigating and foraging
Yeah, you betcha.
the flora.
Be careful. I mean, the longer we stay here, the less likely we complete our job.
Come on,
And
Helly.
for all intents and purposes, everything can be poisonous here.
To be fair, it aside from getting up the mountain with a lot of people might not be too bad. This could be a new place to live and colonize. Maybe the Waters in Droucia don't. I don't know. And she just kind of wanders off and rattling off. And, if everybody come here, this would be nice.
Let's not venture so far that we get lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could I words. Can we take out the map that we have
Sure.
and based on the mountain cliffs and the mountains that are around us, is the mountain chain behind us as we walked out? Like, does it curve around? Can we roughly place where we may have come out?
Make me straight intelligence check unless you're proficient with cartographer's tools.
Nope.
You are
Aeolus
not
is
sure.
just looking at all the plants and I'm super excited.
Yep. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do we sweat a lot? I mean, we have the mountain gear on. I mean, the humidity is probably
It's
very high.
miserable. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Alright, then
I prefer the mountains with
Yeah.
this gear.
we should probably turn around and make our way back down the mountain. We know that this is here.
That's a worry for another time. We have more pressing matters.
This was where the tunnel went. It could be important.
Or
Yeah,
it could
get-
just be something that is meant to distract us from the current things that we have and that we took.
Siegfried. As you're sort of scanning what's going on around in the midst of their conversation, you see a sort of a something that you thought was a bush with like flower petals just sort of turn towards you, and the petals almost have a patterning like a small little face, and then it dashes away and disappears into the underbrush. whatever it was.
I think I just ran into one of the locals. Be careful. We should decide what we're doing now. Because I think we just alerted someone. And also, in regards
Let's
to
get out.
what Willem said, we can always come back and check where this is when we're not pressed for time.
Yes. Agreed.
I'm not looking forward going down this mountain again, but well, there's no other choice.
Before we go back through the the gate, just like right at that entrance,
Mhm.
I would like to, in like a little corner, I guess, out of the way. I would like to druid craft a plant that I know, that
Okay.
like some a plant that I would be able to recognize with a locate plant spell, and just leave it there so I can find this archway again.
Okay.
Like maybe something that's like unique to his mom's garden or something like that.
Yeah. Roll me a D100.
10.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of which, I did not do wheel and woe for today, so I will do that now too.
What?
So another wheel.
Okay. You think of the different things that might be in this environment, and one of the things that sort of catches your mind that probably definitely is not in this environment is some of the small little prairie turnips that Willem had found while you were crossing from Armskirk to the Lisette logging camp. So Willem has some supplies of those, which is what you need for that because it causes something to bloom.
Yeah.
So you can sort of bury it, and a little plant sort of growing there of a prairie turnip near the corner.
And I just tell Willem if I can at least, if we get close enough, within 5 miles of this, I'll be able to find this entrance again. So don't worry, we'll come back.
Will we though?
Well,
We'll try.
are there any in our immediate vicinity? Can I identify any plants or whatnot that I can extract and take back with us that I can work on?
Maybe a nature check. At 15. One moment. You find a flower, half bloomed. It's a white with sort of a fringe, not more than maybe like a quarter inch around, just on the tips of the petals of this deep red. Figure it's probably very beautiful once the flower is actually fully open. That's growing sort of out of a vine that is coiled around one of the tree trunks here, and sort of catches your eye. You're not sure, but I mean, flowers have pollen or nectar, maybe. Better bet than anything. A lot of the stuff here is foreign to you, though. So you're more relying on instinct than true recognition.
Okay. Not having the proper equipment with him, I'll just leave it here, and I'll turn to Willem
Oh.
and Siegfried. You definitely have to come back. There's so much here. And if everyone's on board, I guess we make our way back up through the tunnel.
Okay.
Yep.
Another 5 hours of traveling up through the tunnel has you back at your previous location.
Back where we started.
Yep.
So
Just
we've
a day
all-
later.
We're all tired.
Yeah, exhausted.
Still alive. We're still alive. It's okay.
So how much days do we have left? Like 10 days already we've spent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hurry then.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have.
It's exactly 10. I keep track.
Yeah.
So we have what? 2 or 3 10-day left.
Uh.
Make our way back to Armskirk, and
Yeah.
that's
Oh well,
heading
it
down.
was 4 10-day to the delivery of the pelt, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So you have 3 10-day remaining
Okay.
So
before it's
one
required to be
down-
delivered. Yeah.
One to get down from the mountain and then head south
Let me move
to
you guys
that
to the
lake,
map.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the map. Yep. I need the ping tool. There we go. That'll yank you.
Mm.
So you have 1, 2 to get back to the Lisette logging camp. Or sorry. 1, 2 to get back to the Lisette logging camp. As far as you know. Maybe 1 out of the mountains and then 2. So maybe 3 to get back to the logging camp in total. So we'll call that 3. And then you have your horses there. So 1, you get a bit of exhaustion, but you make it into Elderthorn on the 4th day, in theory. From the logging camp. Be a late day, but you get into Elderthorn just in time to sort of crash. If you wanted to spend the night there, comfortably. And then another day with the horses would be 2 and back if you needed to, but then it's not a lot of time around Cobalt Lake. So half a day there, look around the lake, spend another half day continuing to investigate whatever that job entails, and then another half day back. Be 2 days spent, 7 total, and then back to Armskirk, which would be, sorry, that's Pinwood. So that's 1, 6, 2.
It's possible too. We might be able to store the meat in better condition in Elderthorn while we do whatever we do
Yeah,
in Cobalt Lake.
Yeah.
yeah. And then those are your days traveling to Armskirk from Elderthorn.
Yeah. So we have time to make it back. So that's
You guys have ample time, yeah.
so that's rest, and then we'll head back down the mountain because we've been adventuring or walking up and down all day.
Yeah. Okay. Group, you complete another rest, and then start making your way back down the mountain. Whoa, thank you. I would like a survival check from one person, please. We're leading you back down.
I can do it, and I will go into Chalice form to do it.
Noted.
Not Chalice, Dragon form. Sorry.
I knew what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Survival. $23.
23. Nice. Let me jump back to the main page. Okay. That's not it. Here it is. As you proceed, the early morning, the sun is shining, there's no clouds, the wind is quiet, relatively, and seems to be in good shape. Over the course of the day, the clouds don't pick up, the sun is continuing to beat down, and you're all being careful not to sort of snowblind yourselves at this point, recognizing the danger. What's the marching order?
I'll go behind Secret as always.
Okay. Left to right, same as the main page?
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks good to
Guess
me.
so, yeah.
Okay. Alright, Hellerast.
Yes.
You're the person that notices it first. Small sort of tumble of few like bundles of snow and sliding down the side. And then you hear it, and the rest of you hear this as Hellerast sort of draws attention to it as well. Higher up on the mountain, the sun has melted some part of the ice, just enough that it's started to slip, and is rapidly becoming this cascading avalanche down the side of the mountain. I'm going to need everyone to actually roll into initiative for this.
Oh, shit.
It's maybe 1,500 feet above you at this point. Like, you've made it a decent bit down the mountain, but this thing is coming down fast. And Willem.
No, it didn't roll when I did it. Oh my god.
You forget to select your token.
I didn't have it. Basically, I'm stupid.
All good. That's okay. As he rolls a natural 20.
Hey, I said I'm stupid, not my dice.
All right. So Willem, you hear this call from Hellerast. So this avalanche is tumbling down the mountain at this point. It's pretty wide. It seems to be quite fast. You're not sure how quickly it'll get to you. You're basically about maybe what you would imagine is about a third of the way past the width of it, but it's hard to tell from this range. What are you doing?
I did miss, and I know you described it about trees, etc. What kind of landscape do we have around us?
You're just getting into the very beginning of the tree line around here. So they're small, but you're far enough down that the trees have started to show up.
Okay.
This is coming from the above the tree line.
Yeah. Can I start making my way towards or look for as sturdy of a tree as possible?
Sure. Make me a perception check. You're gonna try to ride it out, basically. Siegfried.
So behind Helly, to kind of give her a chance to buy all of us some time as well. I am going to cast Erupting Earth and try to make a sort of barrier that gives us time to get out of it.
Okay. What's the distance? So it's a 20-foot cube centered on that point.
So just kind of maybe right behind Helly, just to block the snow immediately behind her.
Okay. Well, let me grab a little doodle for a moment. So if this is the mountain, you guys see? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a beautiful mountain, I know. The avalanche is coming down this way towards you. And you guys, I'll use green, are traveling down the mountain like this. Because it's too steep to go basically straight down. and you've just entered the tree line, which is, we'll use purple for the tree line, which is like right around here. So you guys are about here, where that line is, along that sort of path of where you think the avalanche is going to be coming through. So Willem's found probably the largest tree in this area. It's about maybe 2 feet in diameter, and it's doing something with that. Hellerast is in the back of the pack, but behind her is not towards the avalanche of note. It's up to your right.
So yeah, I would put it above us then.
Okay.
Like maybe here, I guess, just to give us time to go down.
Okay, and this doesn't make like a wall. It's just turns up
it-
the area there. Okay.
Um,
The fountain of it doesn't make a 20-foot
Okay,
cube.
I think
block.
yeah. I'm sorry, I totally misread that spell.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes like an earth maelstrom. Think of it that way.
what did I do?
Or like an earth whirlpool.
What did I do at the?
That was like your highest spell slot that you did. Or that.
Was it mold earth?
Can't remember what I did before. So sorry.
Oh, good.
No, I think I prepared the wrong spell and casted it.
Oh.
Shit.
Doing something besides erupting earth? We can come back to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna delay my turn for a second.
Right,
I'll
Aeolus.
figure out my spells. Sorry. I was still figuring out my spells for the day, and then this happened.
No worries. Aeolus, go for it.
Yeah. Alright, Aeolus is gonna look to his left. Is there a drop off?
No, it's steep, but it's like maybe a 30 to 40 degree slope. So it's kind of steep. It might be dangerous to try like sliding down it, but you could try. You're not sure if you can outrun this thing though.
Alright, Aeolus is, would we have been smart enough to tie rope to each other?
I'm assuming that you have.
Okay.
Because you did
Okay.
on the way up, you after realizing the danger of the crevasse. I assume you probably have about 15 feet of slack in between each of you.
Okay. Are there any large rocks in our immediate vicinity?
Not that you see at the moment. There might
Okay.
be. They might be covered by snow, but at a quick glance, no.
All right. I am going to. I'll hold my action. I am going to prepare. Levitate,
Okay.
and I will focus on. Or I. Yeah, I'll hold Levitate to hoist one of us up so that if we do get hit by the avalanche, hopefully the rope and the one that is levitated will
Okay.
help us.
Siegfried, did you decide what you can do?
Yes. Sorry. I didn't have any of my stuff prepared, but I am going to cast Wall of Water.
Wall of water. Okay. What we got for that? Go ahead and drop that in the chat.
Yep. One sec. There we go.
Concentration 10 minutes. 30 feet long, 10 feet high, 1 foot thick. Okay.
And I would just try and cover our path down the mountain, and then I would start running down the mountain. As much as I can.
Alright, sounds good.
Kind of like that way.
To the left. Alright. So are you untethering yourself from your companions?
No, but I would start moving as much as I can while going down.
Okay. Well, that relies on the group of you to move in that case then.
Yeah.
Hellerast, what'll be for you?
Okay, first thing she's going to do is just cast Armor of Agathis on herself for the possibility of any blunt force trauma.
Okay. Noted.
Let's see. 2. And then she's just going to run like hell after Siegfried. She completely agrees. She sees what he's doing and going, ah!
Hellarest, as you do this and like you glance up, the avalanche is continuing to grow in size, and it's maybe 300 feet closer to you. It's probably 1,200 feet away or so at this point. And you start pushing the group to move. Willem and Dunnan, do you agree with the group to continue to move?
More things blazing balls. And while he says that, he's gonna unconsciously cast Bless on everybody.
Okay. Second level, so you get 4 targets.
Everybody but me.
Okay, noted. All right.
Yeah. And he's going along with the others.
All right, sounds good. Willem, are you resisting and sticking by your tree, or are you going with the group? As the avalanche gets closer again. Willem, you muted. Willem.
Coffee.
Yep. We'll come back to Willem. Aeolus, you have this levitate ready to go whenever. Are you doing anything else?
I am just following the group, and seeing as Dunnan is the slowest, I will cast levitate on him.
Okay. Noted.
I just start floating.
Yeah.
You're getting dragged behind.
What's going on?
Siegfried like a kite. In that case, I'd like Siegfried to make an athletics check with disadvantage. Everyone else, other than Dunnan, make athletics checks. As you're now at this point rushing to this to try to beat this avalanche through. 14, 25, 17. I'll grab Willem's.
And I think we're blessed as well.
Bless is not on checks; it's on saves.
Oh, okay. Never
It's
mind.
just saves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saves and attack rolls.
Athletics. Willem is very strong.
So strong.
Willem is sort of getting half lifted, half dragged by Dunnan, who's now this dwarvish kite, who's being pushed along. Over the next round, the avalanche grows closer. It's maybe 600 feet away from you at this point. It's wide and it's tall. You've left behind the wall of water. At this point, how wide is it? It's 30 feet long. Yeah, you've left that behind. Are you gonna keep trying to push, get to the side of it, or are you going to try to take cover? You realize that
I don't
this
think
round you guys have sort of a now or never opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna outrun this, so I'm going to lead them to take cover under the wall.
Yeah. Like at this point, you're maybe 2/3 off to the side, so you have two options here. You might be able to make it off, like past it, or you might not. So the gamble here is: are you gonna risk it? And if you make that, if that gamble fails, it's gonna hit you full force, or you're gonna try to take cover and protect yourselves and know that it's gonna hit you, but be a little bit more prepared.
Is there are we at a point where if we hop off of the trail, we would be free falling?
No, it's all trailblazing. You guys aren't
Okay.
following a particular trail. You're just sort of making your way.
We have to figure it out, and we have to figure it out fast.
Yeah. What's the group gonna do? Taking cover or rushing for it?
I can recast Wall of Water and we can make a break for
I
it.
think cover.
Yeah, the rest? What's your opinion?
Hellyrast is going to say take cover because she has an idea of doing conjure animals if we get covered with snow with some badgers who can dig us out.
Okay.
Just going through everything with we could have an army of badgers digging us out if we needed it.
All right. So the vote is covered. So you all huddle together. Siegfried, you said you're recasting Wall of Water.
If we need it in a better position, maybe like do it in a circle around us this time, versus being a perfect.
Oh, you can make a
line.
ringed wall. 20
Yeah,
feet in
yeah.
diameter, 20 feet
Yeah.
high, 1 foot thick. Okay, so a wall around you sort of erupts out of the snow
And
of this undulating water.
has enough time passed where I'm still in dragon form?
No, you're not in dragon form anymore.
Okay, then with a bonus action, I will go into dragon form again.
Okay, noted.
To help with concentration in case that comes up.
Got it. Okay. The roar of this avalanche coming down the side of the mountain is insurmountable. Your ears ringing. You can barely hear each other speak as it encompasses, rushing towards you. Much taller than your wall. It's about 30, 35 feet of this, like, just roiling snow and rocks as it slams into the wall. I need a strength saving throw from all of you, please. You're all
You get
close
a
together.
+4 and a D4. Also add the D4 for bless.
Okay. So Hellerast.
Nice.
All right. So first up, Hellerast, you got a 10 plus what's your D4?
There we go.
13. Hellerast fails. Aeolus succeeds. Dunnan, you did not bless yourself, correct, Dunnan?
No.
Fails.
Yeah.
Siegfried, you did not have disadvantage. You succeed.
Yep.
And Willem needs to roll. Someone roll me a D4 for Willem, please. One. Beautiful. Strength save. Haha, that bless comes in handy. Willem barely succeeds. DC was 15. Alright, so that is going to be a grand total of... I think Hellerast and Dunnan. You were the two failures. Pardon me.
Correct.
The two of you each take 32 points of bludgeoning damage as it just sort of slams into you. You get pelted by rocks and stones. You manage to all hold together since you are all still tethered by the rope, thankfully. You don't get separated by this. And the wall of water, it doesn't do a lot to help mitigate it, but it helps keep the group of you sort of isolated. So that way you're not sort of splayed all the way down the mountain as it sort of fans out over a greater area. And it helps the rope not take the full force of this. The rest of you take half of that 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, wait. I'm wearing the armor of Agathis. Does that help?
So that gives you temporary hit points. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Oh, okay.
however much temporary hit points you had, subtract that first.
Okay.
But so 32 points or half if you succeeded for the other three. So Willem takes 16. As everything sort of settles around you, you all know you're near each other. You can't see each other. You're all blinded, restrained, with total cover. You are all buried in snow. Hellerast, you said you wanted to do something at this point.
Yeah. Helly's gonna cast Conjure Animals. And I'm gonna guess what would a badger be? Oh,
Badger. Drop Conjure Animals into the chat for me, please.
Okay.
All right. So I say first, so you need to be able to see where you're going, where you're making these badgers appear. So
Right there.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was expecting them to just kind of all materialize around me, but if I'm completely
You're encased in a snowy tomb at the moment.
okay.
Don't need initiative anymore. Make me an athletics check though.
Okay.
Because if you can get realize if you can get yourself out, then you can conjure these. Easy enough for you. Jeez. About 2 minutes of digging, Halarast, you feel your hand sort of punch through the surface, and you can sort of pat around on the top before slowly trying to pull yourself up to the point where you can like look around the surface and conjure these badgers into place.
And how many do I get? 4 or 8?
I will say 4 badgers.
4 badgers. Okay.
They're big badgers.
They're big badgers with sticky hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and have them follow my rope.
Okay.
They're going to dig down underneath, and they're just going to follow the rope, dig around the rope, make a tunnel around it, and find everybody as they go.
All right. Everyone else can give me an athletics check as well at this point. Dunnan, Siegfried. Ooh, Dunnan. Nice. Alright. So, Aeolus and Siegfried, you're still sort of just isolated in this space. Oh, I have to sneeze, and it doesn't want to happen. Willem's sort of still trapped in the snow also. Oh, there we go. Pardon me.
Bless you.
There you go. Aeolus, you're working. It's like 2 minutes. You're sort of struggling against the snow. It doesn't want to cooperate with you. You can feel tension on the rope. It seems like you're pretty sure that's the direction Willem was. Like it's really taut. It's not letting you sort of move at all. Like you didn't have as much leeway as Helarast seemed to have because you're in the middle of 2 people.
Can I yell? Like, would he hear me at all, or is it way too loud?
Sure, you can make it yell. Go ahead and give me a performance check. So,
Yeah.
your mouth gets real cold as some loose snow sort of jumbles into your jaw a little bit.
Yeah, I was assuming I got a mouthful.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Cold and slushy.
That really sucks, because if I heard you, I was gonna yell at you to melt the snow.
Dunnan, even despite the fact that you're sort of tethered on both sides, you're able to claw your way up out, and you realize as you climb back on the surface and see these 4 badgers sort of digging around where Helarast is to get her the rest of the way out. You've gotten yourself out entirely, but in your process, you snapped the rope on either side of you with like that brute strength. Like you got out, but the rope is snapped somewhere in the hole behind you that sort of collapsed in on itself. So you are free, Dunnan. Over the next, I need Aeolus, roll me an athletics check with advantage. Willem and Siegfried, roll me another athletics check as you try to get yourself out. Nice. Jeez. What are these rolls? Alright. Let's see. Aeolus, with the badger's help, as they sort of track along Helarast's rope, they sort of may open up this hole and sort of dig you the rest of the way out. There go the advantage, and you manage to muscle your way up and out. Willem, you feel that rope being dragged now in a certain direction. You realize that's the direction to go, and you feel this void to the side of you, about a foot away, where you gather Aeolus must have been. And you can sort of push through this sort of snow wall that was behind you. You can tunnel up behind him. Siegfried, isolated and alone in the snow. You are still trapped. That's about 5 minutes in there. You gain a level of exhaustion, Siegfried.
I would like to make my way over to the area that I think Siegfried's at.
Yeah, all of you are out except Siegfried at this point.
Okay, so there's
Does
a
that mitigate the cold a little bit?
It helps, but it's not as much the cold, it's the fact that you are isolated from fresh air, bound, restrained, blinded, cold, and struggling against it.
So there's an army of badgers headed his way.
Yeah, following the rope.
All 4.
Yeah, which has been broken by Dunnan.
I know, but they can still sniff him and smell him.
Dunnan, where'd you pop out at?
Dunnan, you there?
Sorry.
Where did you pop out at?
Where did I pop out? It's over there. And the line broke.
You see the little
And-
divot of snow.
Aeolus will immediately make his way over and will just start shoveling snow.
Sure, you can make me an athletics check. Siegfried, make me
Oh.
another one. Disadvantage.
I will help you with that.
Your muscles are feeling it at this point, Siegfried. It's not the cold. It's a little bit of panic starts to set in. You don't know what's going on. You don't hear anything. You just can't move. Pressing on all sides of you. It's really starting to get to you at this point. Aeolus, you're digging hard. Dunnan, you said you're helping also. Are you go ahead and roll an athletics check for yourself?
Siegfried would like to hawk a big loogie and figure out which way is up.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay. The snow is pressed against your face, so
I mean,
that's
I'll
it.
clear
That's
clear
it.
out a faceless produce flame around me.
Yeah,
Well-
that's it. Like you've been struggling enough to make a sort of space. You know which way up is.
Okay.
You're not
can I-
so turned around like you are in water where you don't feel gravity as much. You can tell what way up is.
Can I at least get to my quarterstaff?
Make me an acrobatics check. This is less about like actually muscling your way through the snow, but sort of just reaching it on your back and sort of like wiggling your hand behind.
I'm going to enhance ability myself, give myself cat's grace.
Okay, go for it.
and while he's doing that, I'll turn around to William. He's been there too long. Get the fireball ready. Blast that whole snow up. I don't care. At least he gets out.
Willem, what are you
I think
doing?
that's just a 24 because I'm exhausted. Sorry.
Straight roll. Yeah, gotcha.
So I think I can get my staff.
Yeah, so you reach your staff. Willem, what are you doing when Dunnan says that? Willem.
You're
muted.
You might be refilling coffee. I don't know.
You don't care how big the space is, just cast fireball.
Well, at least a signal where you guys are and maybe blow a path through. Siegfried is gonna grab the staff and launch a lightning strike directly upwards from where he is.
I like it. Roll me a percentile. Less than 30, you hit someone. Ah, you're good. Okay. This bolt of electricity erupts from the ground about 10 feet to the side of where you and Dunnan are digging, Aeolus.
Oh, over here.
Feeling that, I'm going to try to reach for the area and
Take 2 steps,
Try to get
and there's an eruption of fire off to the side, and there's a divot. Siegfried, you take these 10 points of fire damage, mitigated by the snow, as half of your body is now exposed in this crater of fire.
Oh, I'll bet. I hope that Echo doesn't ignite another avalanche. We better get moving then. Come out, Siegfried, and I'll pull him out.
Alright. Siegfried, you are damaged, but you can finally move to significant relief. All of the trees that were surrounding you are basically buried. They're twisted at weird angles. You see roots sticking up out of the snow here and there. And you're all sort of balanced on top of it at the moment.
Helly will send her badgers down since they didn't discover anybody, and they're a little upset about that.
They helped
She's
Aeolus
just
get
gonna
out.
head. Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
And-
still going to go ahead and start going down the mountain and try to trailblaze for us.
Okay.
But we don't have to dig through the snow. We'll just follow in their pathway.
Gotcha. And they stick around for an hour. Which,
An hour.
Which is not in your spell for some reason. I believe it's an hour for conjure animals. Because I know I use the spell a lot to much chagrin.
What are you talking about? Raptors are great.
Yeah, raptors are fun. Alright, so they're sort of working their way down the mountain, helping to either move aside or hard pack snow to make it easier to walk upon.
Yep.
Certainly. I'd like another survival check for someone, please. Anyone?
I'm all out of starry forms, and I'm disadvantaged. I can at least enhance ability you, Aeolus, if that works.
Okay.
So yeah, I will use my last enhance ability on Aeolus for wisdom.
And is that advantage?
Advantage,
Yep, that's
yeah.
advantage.
Nice. Takes you the better part of the remainder of the day until you finally get out of the snow line of the mountain. You're now in a little bit more uneven terrain, much rockier, but you have re-reached, I guess I should say, the headwaters, like the small streams that act as tributaries to the Chorrel Run River that leads all the way to Elderthorn as more and more things join into it. As the sun has now set behind the mountains, as it does about 4 p.m. About 4 p.m. It is beyond the mountains to your west. You'll settle in for a rest.
Yep.
Badgers lower that DC by a decent bit. All right. Anything that anyone has during that rest that they want to accomplish before moving on to the next day?
Just healing up.
Indeed.
All right.
Egg-freed. I can't believe I haven't asked this before. Where are your primary sleeping quarters in Elderthorn?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking you.
Siegfried?
Yes.
I sleep in the keep. I can't really afford anywhere else. My music career hasn't been taking off. But I guess we do have some money now.
Go unrewarded, Guardian.
When we get back to Elderthorn, I would like to have a conversation with all of you.
Okay.
About where we live?
About not needing to spend money for room and board anymore.
I mean, that's why I stay in the keep. I don't spend any money. I pay in service.
Who, you wanna buy a hideout or something for us?
I have my house.
You had your house burned down.
They have been rebuilding it.
Wasn't it just for you? Isn't it a little bit small for us?
I think it
Or do you
would.
want to expand it?
I think it would be a better place for us to to work out of. A private place that we don't have to go to the tavern or
Oh.
to the keep.
Could also be our office for taking on jobs, right?
In a sense, maybe a last resort for somewhere to place our bedrolls for the night. I
Can
don't
we
know
have a
how
cellar
large.
where we have our secret meetings? Or tactical meetings?
It'll also be where experiments and research can be done safely out of prying
Very much
eyes.
like that idea.
Kelly's into that because she's tired of just like camping at Gogron's or going to spending money at the tavern.
Yeah, I mean, but are you gonna be all right with 4 house guests, Aeolus?
Aeolus takes out a piece of parchment that he's been working up and will unroll it and show it to Siegfried. And it is an agreement that Aeolus's land and the house that sits on it, if approved by Elder Thorn, is to be turned over to the Bloody Mad Dogs. I don't know if it'll work. I have been in Elder
Aw.
Thorn for quite a while.
Keep in mind that I'm not a citizen of Ellerthorn. That might be... I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Make me a. Actually, no. You would just know this, Aeolus. Of the group of you, the only people who are permitted to inherit land or own land or property within the Taufa of Elderthorn would be Siegfried and Halorest, as the two of them are the other people who have completed their Blackburn Watch.
Yep. And Aeolus, and at the bottom, it names Siegfried as the primary owner.
Okay.
If Aeolus were to pass.
That's probably the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me, Aeolus. Thank you.
Me too.
As much as I hated the label at the start, when we went to Armskirk and seeing the Iron Fang and hearing about how attached to the old ways and how they were not, I had to relinquish the distaste I have for the Order and how I was raised, in a sense, before I came over. And if the group of us are in Elderthorn to essentially protect it and Droucia, I know I would feel better if there was a place that we could lay our heads outside of prying eyes.
That makes sense.
Well, maybe if we figure out this whole water issue, we can throw a proper housewarming party.
Well, let's focus on finishing what we have in front of us first.
as the group of you sort of settle in for rest. Relatively warmer. Exhausted from your ordeals on the mountain. A bag full of what will be quite a lot of loot, at least in coin, safely tucked away. I think we'll pick up our session here next week.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Cool stuff.
That's a solid ending point.
It is.